Hi guys, Simon here and welcome to episode 4 in our Chaotic Weapon Review series, and today we're going to be focusing on the Chaotic Staff. So the contents for this video, we're going to go through where to obtain it and its purchase cost. We're going to go through the requirements you're going to need to wield this thing. You're going to go through the usage and repair costs of it, its stats and obviously its attack speed, and then its comparison to other weapons, mainly the Staff of Light, Master Wand and Ancient Staff. The good places around RuneScape to use this staff, and then finally the conclusion and the final verdict. So, starting with where to obtain it and its purchase cost, obviously you've seen this all before. It's at the rewards trader at Demonheim, and obviously in his shop he sells all of the chaotic weapons, and right down at the bottom we have the chaotic staff, and it costs 200,000 Dungeoneering tokens to buy, so that's 2 million Dungeoneering experience, or about level 80 if you were to buy this as your first chaotic without spending any of the tokens. So as you see in the staff's description, it requires a magic level of 80 to wield. You will of course need 80 Dungeoneering to wield this, but you'll have enough tokens getting that level to buy it. And then also at the bottom there you see it says it lasts for 10 hours in combat before it needs recharging. So it's clear there that it is a degradable weapon. So we'll go on to talk about its usage and repair costs. Now, as with all chaotic weapons, when you first buy it, it will be on a 20% charge, and to recharge it then, it will cost you either 1.6 million coins or 160k and 16,000 Dungeoneering tokens. Now, if you were to wear this out to 0%, then the full recharge would cost you 2 million coins or 200,000 GP and 20,000 Dungeoneering tokens. So it's your choice as whether to use any Dungeoneering tokens that you have spare, or to spend the cash and save the tokens for something else. Now moving on to the stats of the weapon, you'll see immediately right there at the bottom it has a magic damage percentage of 20%. This is the highest of any staff in the entirety of RuneScape, with the second closest being the Staff of Light at 15%. And then it also has an extraordinarily high magic attack bonus of plus 18, which is the second best in the game, only second to the Master Wand. As with all magic staffs, the attack speed is limited by the spell itself, so it will be the same as all other staffs. And so that's why looking at its stats is very important. So now to compare it to other weapons, I've mentioned a few already. The most comparable item is the Staff of Light. So wielding that, you'll see that the actual difference in magic attack bonus is only down 1 to plus 17, but you have dropped 5% in magical damage. Now, the Staff of Light does have the ability that it can save 1/8 of your runes. That is a 12.5% chance to save the runes used to cast the spell, and also it has a special attack to boot, which the Chaotic does not. The Staff of Light is also a purchasable item at around 1 million coins, and so is often a good alternative for many players. For those looking at severe accuracy, you might favour the Master Wand with the highest magic attack bonus in the game of plus 20, so you can achieve the highest accuracy using this. However, it does only have a 10% magical damage, and so you will not achieve these big max hits that the Chaotic Staff can produce. For players low on cash, you can also use the Ancient Staff, which has plus 15 magic attack, which is only 3 less than the Chaotic Staff, and just 2 less than the Staff of Light, but it only has a plus 10 magic damage. However, it does only cost around 80k once you finish Desert Treasure, and so it is a very good alternative, especially if using it in a high risk area. When you actually look at the bonuses when you've got other gear equipped, you'll see that the difference is less noticeable. When wearing full mage gear, you can achieve extremely high magic attack bonuses, as you see here about 152, but if you were to downgrade that to the Staff of Light, you'd only notice a very marginal difference. So instead of being 1 in 17, it's going to be 1 in 151, so it's not actually that much difference. Also, if you've obtained the Arcane Stream Necklace, you'll notice that the magic damage percentage for that, of the extra 15%, will also mean that the extra 5% will be less noticeable between the Chaotic Staff and the Staff of Light. Moving on to the staff's uses around RuneScape, obviously its number one use is in PvP. Now, for anyone that does mage hybriding or just mage PKing, then this staff is for you. Its max hits are unbeatable by any other staff, and you can hit some seriously high figures up to and including 500, which is really going to help when you're trying to beat your opponents. With its high accuracy when combined with other gears, you'll find that you can deal some severe combos that are just deadly to anyone, and literally you cannot live through them. It's important to note that when you're in high-risk PvP, such as in the wilderness, your Chaotic Staff does have a value of 20 mil, and so it may be one of the items that you keep, and so you need to factor that in when choosing your gear. For people fond of boss hunting, unfortunately the Chaotic Staff doesn't have many uses when it comes to killing bosses. Of course there are bosses such as the Dagonoth Rex that have vulnerabilities to magic, and also TDs do have a slight weakness to magic and so can be good, as you will need 2 combat styles to defeat them. However, at present there aren't any bosses that really solely require mage, and so hopefully in future this staff will be more useful when it comes to boss hunting PVM, but for now it's not the most useful. Of course, for players who are trying to level their summoning and are barraging or bursting rock lobsters at the Waterbirth Island dungeon, then the Chaotic Staff is unbeatable in terms of its damage per second. This will help you increase your number of Crimson Charms per hour and obviously make it faster for you to get 99 summoning. For those players that enjoy to use Mage on Slayer, you'll be pleased to know that the Chaotic Staff is extremely useful. Combined with the extra damage of the Arcane Stream Necklace and the Slayer Helmet with a Hex Crest inside, you can find that you'll hit nearly 600 on normal Slayer assignments, and then if you are fighting Ice Strike Worms at level 93 Slayer, as you see on screen now, this will actually be doubled because they are weak to fire spells, and you can hit anywhere up to about 1200, which is just literally insane. For me, Ice Strike Worms is the only task that I choose to mage. However, this is just because mage is clearly the best tactic here, as when you're hitting consistent hits up to 1,000 and even over 1,000, then you get these 3,000 life point monsters down very quickly with very common 4 hits, and often you can also do a 3 hit, which is great fun when you get it. Now for those doing long-term training, either on Slayer or whether you're doing it at Rock Lobsters or anywhere else, despite the Chaotic Staff having obviously the highest hits possible, it is important to note that the Staff of Light may be a better option, as it does have the 12.5% chance of saving the runes that you use, which when you're using a large number of spells it can really help to save on those costs. However, if you are just going for damage per second, then the Chaotic Staff is unrivaled by any other weapon. So to conclude this video, I'm going to move on to my final verdict about the Chaotic Staff. Now clearly it is the best staff in the game, and I would use it anywhere where magic is required. Now unfortunately there aren't that many places that the Chaotic Staff is useful, however hopefully in the future there will be more uses for the staff, making it a much more desirable item. So if you're thinking whether you should buy it or not, now if you have plenty of Dungeoneering tokens available, I definitely advise getting it. It's a really cool item and it's really good to use with those max hits. It is really fun. However, if you are tight on cash or tight on Dungeoneering tokens, I would advise maybe using a buyable alternative such as the Staff of Light, as its stats are very comparable. They can in fact save you money on the runes cost with the Staff of Light's ability, and also it doesn't have the degradation costs, which can actually rack up quite quickly. If you've just got level 80 and you're thinking what your first chaotic is that you should buy, I would not advise buying the staff unless you're a heavily mage based character, as with its limited uses you are much better off buying a melee weapon or the chaotic crossbow, as it will give you greater flexibility around RuneScape. So just as a final comment, it's an awesome staff, but it's not for everyone. So that concludes my Chaotic Staff review. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found this useful in some way, please give us a thumbs up. For more weapon review videos, feel free to subscribe to our channel to be notified about any of the videos that we release. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you tomorrow for a new video.